if you follow me on Instagram, you will have noticed that I said that I would do an LSE Q&A. So I'm basically just collating all the questions that I've received, basically from anywhere. Like, so if you've sent me a question, hopefully it gets answered in this. I'm really sorry if I miss it out, but I will try and do all of them. Also, before we get started, I just want to say I have released a personal statement guide. I'm going to insert the clip of me talking about it now. So I have just released a personal statement guide for UCAS 2023 UK university applications. In this guide, we'll go from learning more about what the personal statement is to being able to write one that really stands out amongst the rest. And we'll go into how to brainstorm ideas. I've created a specialized technique that you can only find in this guide. Then we go into the intro and I give guidance on how to write a good intro. Same with the main body with academics and extracurriculars, same with the conclusion, and throughout there are examples of each. And those examples represent 12 different courses and are of 14 different universities. So if you're interested in that, I have put more information in the description and I put the link as well. Also, just a big good luck because writing a personal statement can be hard. Okay, so you watched the clip. Let's go back to the video. Okay, so the first question is about the lifestyle at LSE. I would say the lifestyle for me, I really like the London uni kind of vibe. It's really cool to be able to have university in a city rather than the traditional campus, I would say. I really like that personally, but if you obviously you're a more campus person, that may not be for you. So consider that. I really like the fact that like you're kind of like merged in with everyone else, with like working professionals, with like tourists, everyone's kind of just around you. I think it's really weird to compare it to campus unis actually, because I saw this TikTok and it was like what to do in freshers and it was like go into town at least once. And I was like, wow, for London unis, that's obviously not a thing because you're literally in a city the entire time. That was a really interesting thing to hear. But I would say it's a lot more lively than perhaps campus unis. But maybe these are just like things of city unis versus campus unis in general. Maybe not an LSE thing. Some sub-questions that this person asked from this were, would you say it's tons of work? I can't fully say because I haven't really compared it to any other universities because I don't know what other universities like workload is like, so I don't completely know what to say for that one. I would say it is a lot of work, but to be honest, I think a lot of people did seem to manage it in first year. Like people were going out a lot, you know, it wasn't like so much work that you can't do anything, but that again may be a first year thing. I think once you're in the swing of things, it becomes okay. And also when you realise that you have no other university to compare it to with your own individual experience, you know, you kind of just accept what it is. Like, it is what it is. Also, would you say you're fulfilled? Yes. I really like LSE and like university in general. I was literally saying this to my sister today. Like, I really love uni. Like, I would have never said that if it was school. Also, this person is asking, in terms of lifestyle, workload, type of friends, and people, mindset of people, availability and tempo of professors, enjoyability of LSE in London. So I think I've kind of gone into workload, type of friends and people you meet. I mean, I've heard stories of people being like annoying, but I'd say most people are very nice. I think I've been really lucky to be able to have the friends that I do have. And I also think it's really easy to make other friends. Like, you just go to some society event or just like any place that you can go to regularly and you can make friends. Also, I think with classes, it's a very good way to make friends because, well, with my course anyway, you're able to take an outside option, so you mingle with like people that aren't from your course, and like that was a really big factor in making a lot of my friends. The mindset of the people, yeah, I mean, it's very career orientated, I would say that. Like, I remember even before joining the university, I was in like the spring week chat. If you don't know what a spring week is, it's basically like this work experience placement thing for a couple of days during the spring of your first year that you can apply for. Yeah, so like I was in a chat for that even before the term had even started. So like you kind of get like the gist of things from that. So I would say that LSE organizes a lot of careers events, but like not necessarily the university itself, but the student body. I remember I was filming an event and 700 people had signed up, not just from LSE but from all around the UK and also international universities. So it was like a really big event. So like things like that LSE has regularly, and this is not just a like this year thing, it's happened multiple times in the past before. Also the vibe is very much investment banking and like finance. Maybe like if that's not the career you want to go into, it may not be as good because a lot of the things at LSE tend to be focused towards that way. Doesn't mean there aren't other things, but most of it is, I would say. Availability and tempo of professors. So in terms of availability of professors, you can book like office hours with them. It depends on the professor, the lecturer, and your class teacher, like whenever they have their office hours. In terms of the temperament of the professors, that depends person to person, but I've not had a problem with any of my professors, lecturers, class teachers, anyone like that. I mean, sure, some people can be a bit dry, some people can, you know, be a bit boring, but no one's rude. Okay, so now this is another question. Hey, I just wanted to ask if there is sufficient support for students regarding both academic work and your personal life in general. In terms of academic work, 100% there is support. In the lead up to exam season, they send out emails about how to like revise best for your subjects, how to write an essay under time conditions if you have to write an essay in like an exam, things like how to plan your revision over the holidays, how to make use of like office hours, contact hours with your teacher, things like that. I think they're very good at that, and they have like multiple like webinars, things like that, and they're really good. I've been to some myself. In terms of other support, perhaps like saying extensions, things like that, depending on if you have any like teaching arrangements or like disability arrangements, you can get extensions. And there's like a process that you can apply for. If you need an extension, you can give reasons, things like that. I would say that's a pretty good procedure. Also, you can defer exams if you feel as if you really can't take one. I mean, obviously we'll still have to take it at a later point, but you know, if there's something up, meaning that you can't take the exam on the day that you're meant to take it, you can defer it. I know a lot of people that have done that. In terms of personal life, I would say like LSE I think has multiple newsletters, like one for like departments. So like I'm on the accounting and finance newsletter. I think there's a general school-wide LSE newsletter. But yeah, they have a lot of things like, oh yeah, so you should go visit this place in London, you should try this place in London. There's a lot of like, you know, we don't want you to just work. We want you to try other things. We want you to go explore London, enjoy your university life. I would say that kind of stuff is there. There's also counselling sessions if you need it in terms of that kind of support. But I actually think there's a lot of support available, and sometimes there's a lot of information to digest and a lot of information to take in terms of support. Like you have this thing and that thing and this thing, like there's a lot. Not necessarily in a bad way. I'm saying more in like a I didn't expect so much, especially coming like from school where, you know, you don't have that much funding, you don't get that much support with things. With LSE, obviously there's a lot of funding, so there's a lot of support available. So that's that question. Another question is, how are the sports facilities for LSE students? So I think it was the second term of this year, the Marshall building opened up, and in that there are a few lecture theatres, a few like group study spaces, a lot of departmental stuff, things like that, but a lot of sports facilities as well. So I think there's a basketball court, badminton court, like in one. There's also like a dance studio in there. There used to be one in the SU building, in the Student Union building. I mean, there still is, but now they've kind of moved to the Marshall building. But yeah, no, like all the sports teams, dance teams, things like that, they all now use the Marshall building. And yeah, I remember like when it was first opening, I saw so many Instagram stories from like the Student Union, like LSE itself, about the Marshall building, and they were showing all the sports facilities. But yeah, I have not used any this year apart from the dance studio like once, I think. So I wouldn't know completely. I think things like water polo and swimming, they go like further afield, they go to like actual leisure centres, things like that. But yeah. Okay, so the next few questions are from someone that got accepted into LSE. Okay, so in many YouTube videos, I saw people expressing how LSE doesn't have a sense of community and there's no room for socialising due to the competitive nature of academics. Would you say that management burns out the students and there is no time for socialising? I personally don't know that much about management. I'm more accounting and finance, but I would say that management, I think, from what I've heard, is a pretty chill course as compared to other courses, I would say I feel like it's a bit of a joke that like if you do management or geography, like you've got it easy, like why are you even at LSE, that kind of thing. I mean, it's just a joke, so like don't take it like for real. I mean, LSE itself is not very chill. I would say management students do go out quite a bit. I mean, not necessarily management students, but LSE students in general, to be honest, they do go out a bit. Probably not as much as other universities. Like some people I've had go out like 3 times a week, like nights out this is. I mean, I don't really know many people like that. There are people that do it, like they can manage the academics and they can go out like 3 times a week, but I don't know many. Like usually it's once a week or even less than that. But yeah, no, like there is 100% time for socializing, I think, in any degree. Okay, the second question: I love being part of extracurriculars, so does an LSE student get the time to be part of societies? Yes, definitely. There are people I know that are part of multiple societies and they're absolutely fine. Some of those people are also like, they also have leadership roles in the next year. They are doing absolutely fine and they are like balancing their degree as well. If it works for you, you can 100% be part of societies. And a follow-up question to that is, and do the student clubs provide exposure and opportunities outside of academics? Yes, 100%. I did this case competition as part of the consulting society. I wasn't part of the consulting society, but it was just open to anyone. We had to do like a presentation about our case and like things that we came up with, things like that. And I'm pretty sure they brought in people, like pretty important people, to listen to our presentations. As a university, you have to remember, especially LSE, they can do a lot. There is a lot that LSE can do that you can't do as an individual on your own. Not just like societies, also there's the digital skills lab. I did a Python for accounting course with them, and so basically that course was like learning Python, but like to do with accounting and like thinking about how Python can be used in real life for accounting and also finance. So that was really interesting. But it's not just like Python for accounting. If you want to learn like R, if you want to learn just Python, if you want to learn like Java, like there's a load of different things that you could learn. Excel, that's all outside academics, but they're really useful for like real life knowledge, real life ventures, let's say. Okay, so the next question is, since LSE is quite competitive, what percentage of people applying for internships actually end up getting them? It's not necessarily university wise, that's what I would say. Basically, let's take the example of Goldman Sachs. It's not just LSE students applying, it's about like anyone from anywhere in the region who is eligible to apply can apply. So you have people from like Bath, Bristol, Durham, Cambridge, Oxford, like I don't know, St Andrews, all of them applying to this one internship. So it's hard to like distinguish LSE students from the rest, especially because these application processes, they're less to do with the university and more to do with like how you actually perform in the interview, in the tests, things like that. So I wouldn't be able to say, like, I don't know that data, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. Does LSE provide adequate help in building your application for careers and things like that, especially because they believe in independent studying? LSE careers, like, they are good. My friend works at LSE careers actually, and I remember before he even got his job, he was using LSE careers all the time, and like he said it was really useful. I've used LSE careers. I was literally just using LSE careers. It is very useful. They have like this I want to say slogan, but it's not a slogan, like this thing, don't know what to call it, but it's like an infinity sign, and then like different bits of the infinity symbol represent different things in careers, and it's like a cycle. They provide so much. They provide practice interviews, practice assessment centres. If you need someone to go over your CV with, even my department had a specialised CV person that no other department had, like cover letters, things like that. Basically they have a lot, and it's really worth getting yourself familiar with everything they have, all the services, and making use of them, because a lot of people don't make use of them. They literally have specialised consultants for things. Don't worry about careers when you get to LSE. I 100% assure you that's going to be there. And also I was mentioning earlier, like, the student body organises career stuff, and like senior years help like junior years, things like that. Like there's mentoring, there's CV checking, a lot of different stuff that you can get involved with, either as someone who's checking or someone who's getting their stuff checked. The last kind of thing to that was, do you have to figure out all on your own? I would say some things you do have to figure out on your own, but I think that's just part of university. I think when it actually gets to it, you kind of realize there's a lot of support available, and they become a lot more attentive towards exam time as well. They do become more busy, but also more attentive. Even though LSE does have the kind of narrative of, oh, you have to figure out everything by yourself, it's not actually like that. Like, there is a lot of support available, even for like and understanding stuff, problem sets, just material in general. Another question I got is, do all undergraduates at LSE have the option of choosing an outside module in their first year? So I would say that I don't think they do. I got the option to choose one module like outside the general set structure of my degree, but I remember my friend saying that she didn't get the option to choose anything. She just had to go with what she had. You know, it's kind of different for different courses. Another one is, where can you apply for spring week placements at LSE? For spring week placements at LSE, you don't apply with LSE, you apply outside of LSE. LSE can help you. LSE know that a lot of their students are applying to spring weeks and also summer internships when it gets to it in second year, but you don't go through them. Like, it's all separate. I'll do a whole video on spring weeks and everything like that, because I feel like a lot of people want that. Let me know in the comments if that's something that you would want. Okay, so that is the end of the video. That is all the questions I have. If you have any other questions that you want me to answer, put them in the comments below. I will just answer them like in the comments itself. But yeah, I really hope that helped. If you want to know more about LSE, I've done a week in my life LSE video. I might bring that kind of vlog style back. A lot of people have been asking me, a lot of my friends, they're like, oh yeah, can you do like a vlog kind of video? Like, we want to be in the vlog, but they don't want to be in sit down videos. It's always the vlog. So I might bring that back. But yeah, I've done a lot of LSE videos, university type videos, so go check them out if you are new to the channel. If you are new, then go subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of my videos. And if you have any requests for any kind of videos, put them in the comments below. And also smash the thumbs up button if you like this video. Also, have a look at my personal statement guide. The link is below. All the information you need is below. If you need to remind yourself of what it is, go back to the start of this video and listen to that little clip I've inserted. But yeah, that is it for today's video. I will see you in another video then. Bye!